This is Head Bustin' Boxing, and we are back in the house to talk about that knockout king Triple G. And Eddie Hearn in an interview said that Triple G won't wait for Canelo, lots of opponents for him. Hey man, before we even get into the article, that's been the case. Like, matter of fact, before I even start ranting, let's just get to the article. It says Eddie Hearn admitted third Canelo Alvarez Gennady Golovkin fight might remain the biggest bout that can be made in boxing. That doesn't mean Golovkin will wait around until Alvarez decides he is ready to fight Golovkin a third time. Hearn told BoxingScene.com recently that if Golovkin gets past Sergey Derevchenko, on October 5th, the Kazakhstan native will start looking at opponents other than Alvarez, either at middleweight or super middleweight. That should have been the case. And this isn't coming from a Triple G hater. Believe it or not, I am a fan of Triple G. I am not a fan of Triple G's matchmaking. Whoever's been the one doing it all these years. It says, we want that fight because it's the biggest fight in boxing. You could argue that. Said Hearn, whose company Matchroom Boxing recently became Golovkin's co-promoter. And also, it's the fight that DAZN wants. You know, DAZN wants the fight that's going to create the most amount of interest, drive the most amount of subscriptions, that Canelo, Triple G, but Canelo isn't going to be told what to do. Do you know what I mean? So when Canelo says, yes, I'll fight Triple G now, that will happen. But until then, and I think this is one of the sort of mindsets behind Triple G, let's take control of our own career. Let's not wait for people. You know, are we waiting on Canelo? No. We're going to fight Derevchenko. You're going to win the world title, and then we're going to fight this guy, and this guy. But see, here's the problem with that. You're saying that now. How old is Triple G? I don't know, 35, 36? Matter of fact, let's look it up. How old is Triple G? 37. He's 37 years old. You should have been had that mind state. We waited years to hear Triple G say something like that. I mean, matter of fact, let's see, when did Triple G started fighting memorable fights? It was, I would say, with Danny Jacobs, right? That happened 2 years ago when he was 35. Yeah, well, hold up. Well, the reason why Jacobs was competitive was because Triple G getting old. Come on, man. Kell Brook, if you want to call that a memorable fight, 2016. Before that, Dominique Wade, David Lemieux, Willie Monroe, Martin Murray, Marco Antonio Rubio, Daniel Gill, Adam Asumanu, whatever. Curtis Stevens. I mean, that's a name, but Stevens was never top shelf. Matthew Macklin. I mean, really the only name below that that's even worth mentioning, really, and it's not really worth mentioning, is Gabe Rosado. And what I'm trying to figure out, how some of these guys down here at the bottom of his resume was even like, okay, John Anderson Carvalho for the vacant WBO Intercontinental, whatever. Interim WBA, Milton Nunez, why was he even in the ring? Like, Nelson Julio Tapia for the WBA. I mean, like I said, and I mean, and this ain't me trying to pick on Triple G, because I'll be honest with you, back like 2012, 2013, I was a huge Triple G fan. I mean, I still root for him a little something, but I was a huge Triple G fan. And my thing is, like, when am I going to get to see him fight somebody? You know, back then, it was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Possibly him getting in the ring with Andre Ward. Even a little flirting with getting in the ring with B-Hop. You know, Then people say, well, hold up, man. The reason why he fighting the Deals or Gil, whatever his name is, the Willie Monroes, the Martin Murrays, the Marco Antonio Rubio type guys, because it's nobody at 160. Even though you did have cats like Peter Quillen, you had Lee, at the time still Danny Jacobs. So I mean, it was still a little bit of something around for him to fight. But he ain't getting a ring with none of them guys. You could say they were ducking or whatever. But my issue with that was, okay, if it wasn't nobody at 160 to fight, jump up to 168. That never happened. Then you had people hollering, well, why should he move up to 168? Why can't Andre Ward come down to 160? Because Andre Ward was the older fighter. Well, I think he was the older fighter. Then again, Andre Ward still might not be 37. I don't know. But anyway, Andre Ward was already fighting at 168. It could have been a catch weight, whatever. Then it didn't even have to just be Andre Ward. Like, he had opportunities to fight a Badou Jack. What's your boy name who pretty much washed up now? The light skinned dude from Britain. Sister super duper fine. I can't remember his name. Crap. He had the Durrell brothers. It was cats at 168 he could have fought. Even if it would have been just on some catchweight stuff or just to fight a name and go back and defend your titles, whatever. I mean, but the point is, he had guys he could have fought at 168. You got guys you can fight at 160 now that's been at 160 that you ain't fought. I'm sorry, I don't put all that, like, okay, and please forgive me, but I agree. Canelo Alvarez, you fighting him is gonna be more money than you would Bubu Andrade or Jamal Charlo or whoever, Billy Joe Saunders, whoever, Caleb Smith, whoever. You would get more money. But in the meantime, when you're not fighting Alvarez, you fighting chumps. Chumps. I don't want to see you fighting a Roll or somebody like that. Like, you already know what's going to happen. Then people say, well, whoever he fighted was going to knock out. You don't know that. You're fighting nobodies. His whole career, nobodies. If people go get on Tank Davis about that crap, and I'm a big Tank Davis fan. That's one of the few guys I will openly admit. Yes, I'm a big Tank Davis fan. Why? I live half my life in Baltimore. Sorry. Hometown discount. I'll put that out there. But even with Tank Davis, I'll say the same thing. You got to step your resume up. Now, Tank been doing that for what, 3 or 4 years? He been on the scene? Really not, we're going to really say about 2.5. He really been on the scene hard. This dude been doing that for over a decade. Oh no, maybe I'm being a little hard when I say a decade. But basically a decade. Ain't nobody complaining. Like, come on, man. Come on. I mean, some people complaining, but come on, man. If you gonna complain about Tank Davis only having like 2 fights on his resume, what about Triple G? You got Saul Alvarez, Canelo, and you got Danny Jacobs. Everybody else, I don't care what you say, are cupcakes. David Lemieux looked dangerous at the time. I'll give you that. But since then, we figured out David Lemieux ain't that good of a fighter. He got power, but he ain't no boxer. Willie Monroe, come on, man. Martin Murray, come on. Even Kell Brooks shouldn't have been in the ring with him, but okay, at least you fought, you fighting a so-called top fighter in boxing. He just wasn't the middleweight. All these other dudes, man, we could have did without. And you can say, well, that's old news. Okay, but he did this crap last year. When Canelo got suspended, this Sergey Derevchenko crap could have been dealt with last year. You out of here. Could have got that mess out of the way. We could be seeing him fighting Bubu Andres right now instead of this crap. And I ain't no knock on Sergey Derevchenko. Because I do think he's a good fighter, and I'm looking forward to that. Matter of fact, I applaud Triple G for taking the fight, because a lot of people thought he wasn't. So that's a good fight. But that's a fight that should have took place last year. He should have never got stripped for fighting Vanez Martirosyan. Come on, man. Once again, and this dude, hold up. I thought he was retired. Now, hold on, listen. And he wasn't at 150. He wasn't even at 160. He was fighting at 154. Let me see. Hold on. Let me double check that. Yeah, that dude was out 2 years after fighting Laura. How in the world he get a Triple G fight? And it was at 154. So I mean, Eddie Hearn, man, you like 5, 7 years late with this news. Should have been saying that. Waiting around for Canelo, and to be honest with you, I don't care if they ever fight again. I really don't. I'd rather not them fight at all for that third fight, and to see a Triple G Charlo, a Triple G Andres, a Triple G Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo Billy Joe Saunders, a Canelo Charlo, a Canelo Andres. I'll do without another Triple G Canelo fight if I can get those other 6 fights, because I don't see it. I can live with that, because to be honest with you, I don't see Triple G beating Canelo. Now, if you want to argue he beat Canelo the first time, okay. I really did think it was a draw. I thought it was that close. I thought Triple G, I thought Canelo dominated early. Triple G dominated the middle. Canelo took a couple rounds down the stretch and got the draw. That's how I saw it. The second fight, I thought Canelo whooped him. I thought Canelo ran out of gas and Triple G made the fight close, but I thought Canelo whooped him. This third fight, I only see Canelo getting better. He's in his prime. Triple G's not. So, I mean, I don't need to see it. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll report on it. But I'd rather see Triple G versus Charlo, Canelo versus Charlo, Canelo versus Andrade, Charlo and Andrade. All these, it's so many different combinations that we could see. Why I gotta be stuck with just them two? Now you got Jared Hearn moving up, throw him in the mix, fight him, whatever. But come on, man. I don't need to see Saul Alvarez. So Eddie Hearn, I'm glad to hear you say that. I really am. Put him in there with Billy Joe. Put him in there with Caleb Smith. I mean, these are the names that I'm seeing in the article. So I mean, I'm not just firing stuff out. Here's the thing. These are people with the zone. This stuff could have happened anyway. Just like with Canelo. Why? I mean, I ain't knocking him. I know why he want to fight Kovalev. He want that 4th division. But it's too many cats in the zone. Man, the middleweight division, the zone got that on lock. We should be seeing these fights. Think about it. Listen to this. All these people with the zone or Matchroom or like I said, affiliated with the zone. Caleb Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Demetrius Andres, Canelo Alvarez, Triple G, Charlo, the only one out of the big names that are, well, Andres, excuse me. But he's with Eddie Hearn, ain't he? So come on, man. Like DAZN, like all these dudes DAZN. Andres, Canelo, Triple G, Caleb Smith, Billy Joe Saunders. The Darrell brothers, I mean, they might be with PBC, but who cares? Ain't nobody gonna stop them from going to get paid. Make some fights, Eddie. I'm rooting for you. I like the Pope with Eddie Hearn, but seriously, I think he can make some big things happen at 160 and 168. Make these fights, man. Please. Please. You ruined stuff at the heavyweight division a little bit with your nonsense with Joshua. But please, man, make these fights. I need to see a Triple G Andres. Matter of fact, I need to see a Billy Joe Saunders Andres. Make these fights happen, Eddie. You can do it. We rooting for you, Eddie. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got. I had to get that out. I had to rant about that, man. I've been so frustrated with the 160-pound division for years, man. Years. Since Cotto had a belt. He should have never, truth be told, he should have never been allowed to get a belt at 160. But whatever. If you would like to make a donation to the channel, click on the right-hand corner and the home page where you will see, ironically, Triple G, the PayPal button will be on his chest. You can click on that link, or you can go to the link underneath. You can go to the link underneath in the description of the video. You can click on that, make a donation if you would like. Also, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section and let me know, why have we been waiting on Triple G all these years to fight some of these dudes? This crap could have been gone down, man. Only person he ever cared about was Saul Alvarez. Come on, man. Eddie, make the fights, bruh. Too many people around at 160 and 168. Tell me who you would like to see fight. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know. I would love to see Caleb Smith versus Plant. I would love to see Billy Joe Saunders versus Caleb Smith. Man, I would, for real, I would love to see Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez. I think that would be the ultimate boxing match. Far as technical skill, I don't care what nobody say, Billy Joe can box. But anyway, this here Bustin' Boxers Fight Doctor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section and let me know what you think. Who would you like to see fight? This here Bustin' Boxers on Fight Doctor. I am out.